Have you ever observed a young child attempting to concentrate on something for more than just a few fleeting moments? Most parents are familiar with the typical pattern. A child initiates an activity, becomes sidetracked by something else, and then quickly moves on to yet another thing. They might manage 5 minutes, or perhaps 10 on a particularly good day. But what if I were to tell you that in some classrooms, children as young as 5 can maintain deep focus for a continuous 45 minutes? This isn't achieved through the use of phones, external rewards, or any form of pressure. It's purely the result of concentrated attention. So, what exactly is their secret? It's not about implementing stricter discipline or utilizing expensive, specialized learning tools. And it certainly doesn't involve increasing screen-based education. The answer lies in something much simpler, something surprisingly quiet, and something that most of the world completely overlooks. It's a daily habit that naturally trains the brain to focus its attention. And once you witness its impact, you'll never view things the same way again. Hashtag the habit that changes everything. Before their lessons even begin, many young children participate in simple, structured routines. These routines involve cleaning their classroom, organizing learning materials, and preparing their learning space. They do it slowly, carefully, and together as a group. At first glance, it may not appear to be learning in the traditional sense. However, something profoundly powerful is happening beneath the surface. When children engage in calm, purposeful actions without rushing and free from distractions, their brains begin to adapt and change. They are essentially learning how to remain present in the moment. This isn't accomplished through force or by command. It's achieved through direct experience. Focus, therefore, becomes a feeling they recognize and can consciously return to. Hashtag why this works so well. Modern life constantly bombards us with stimuli, pulling our attention in countless directions. We are surrounded by fast-paced entertainment, instant rewards, and endless stimulation. Our brains become accustomed to rapidly jumping between tasks, switching focus, scanning for information, and reacting to immediate demands. However, sustained attention is a different skill altogether. It requires patience, emotional regulation, and a sense of comfort with stillness. These simple classroom routines quietly cultivate all three of these crucial elements. When a child carefully wipes down a desk, they must remain focused on the task at hand. When they arrange objects with precision, they are practicing self-control. And when they complete a process from start to finish, they build mental endurance. It's akin to strength training, but specifically for attention. Small, consistent repetitions build powerful capacity over time. Hashtag the role of calm environments. Another crucial element of this habit is the learning environment itself. The space is orderly, predictable, and peaceful. There is no sensory overload and no constant noise competing for attention. This is more significant than many people realize. When the brain feels safe and free from excessive stimulation, it doesn't need to constantly scan its surroundings for potential threats or novelties. This frees up valuable mental energy, making it available for deep concentration. In other words, focus becomes easier because the environment actively supports it. Hashtag learning to finish what you start. One of the most important outcomes of these routines is something that many adults struggle with: completion. Children are encouraged to fully complete their tasks, not quickly, but thoroughly and carefully. This builds what psychologists refer to as task persistence. It's the ability to stay with a task or activity, even when it becomes boring, repetitive, or challenging. And here's the surprising part. Young children don't naturally resist repetition in the same way that adults often do. When guided gently, they actually enjoy mastering small details. That sense of completion creates satisfaction, which, in turn, reinforces focus. The brain learns a valuable lesson: staying engaged feels good. Hashtag focus without pressure. In many settings, concentration is often demanded. Pay attention. Sit still. Don't get distracted. However, pressure often creates stress, and stress is detrimental to attention. These daily routines operate differently. They don't demand focus. They invite it. Children are given meaningful responsibilities. They feel like they are making a real contribution. They have a role in maintaining their shared space. This fosters a sense of ownership. And ownership naturally increases engagement. When something matters to you, you naturally pay more attention to it. Hashtag the hidden emotional benefit. There's another layer of benefit that most people tend to overlook. These routines contribute to building emotional stability. Predictable actions create psychological safety. Shared responsibility fosters social awareness. Orderly environments reduce anxiety. And when emotions are regulated, attention becomes steady and consistent. Focus isn't just a cognitive process. It's also deeply emotional. A calm mind is able to concentrate far better. Hashtag what happens over time. When this habit is repeated day after day, month after month, year after year, something remarkable happens. Attention becomes automatic. Children no longer require reminders to concentrate. They enter a state of focus naturally, as easily as stepping into a familiar room. By the time structured learning formally begins, their brains are already well trained for sustained engagement. 45 minutes doesn't feel like a long time. It feels normal. Hashtag the lesson for everyone. Here's the most powerful takeaway from all of this. Focus isn't an innate trait that children are born with or without. It's a skill they develop through consistent practice, not through lectures or punishment, but through daily, meaningful routines that train the brain gently and consistently. Small actions repeated with intention build lifelong cognitive strength. Hashtag imagine this. Imagine if more children grew up experiencing focus as something calm, natural, and satisfying. Imagine if attention wasn't forced upon them, but cultivated within them. Imagine how learning, creativity, and overall confidence would be transformed. Because when a child learns how to stay present in the moment, they don't just become better students. They become better thinkers, better problem solvers, and ultimately, better human beings. Hashtag final thought. The secret to incredible focus isn't complicated. It's not about technology, pressure, or innate talent. It's about the quiet power of simple daily habits, shaping the brain one small moment at a time. And sometimes, the smallest routines can create the biggest transformations. If you found this fascinating, you might start noticing something new the next time you observe a child carefully completing a simple task. You may just be witnessing focus being built in real time.